Hi everyone. Well, my 100-day project is finished. I'm really excited and pleased that I was able to do the entire 100 days. And so I wanted to share with you how my little journal turned out, where I was putting all of the leaves that I created during the project. I wanted to say that everything I used in this journal I already had here. I loved being able to just use things I had, didn't have to buy anything extra. I just used up some stuff, and it's really thrilling to be able to do that. So I had some elastic. I already had some elastic here that says create all the way down the length, and I was really happy to be able to use that. I actually had the little clamp too. I got that from Tuesday Morning a couple of years ago. At the same time I bought this ribbon or elastic, and so I was thrilled to be able to use that on my little journal to keep it closed. These are the 3 little tiny leaves that I crocheted during the project. I knew that I was going to put them on the outside of the cover. I wasn't sure if I was going to dangle them somewhere, maybe here or what, but as I was putting it together this morning, I decided, you know what, I'm just going to put those at the bottom of that, and I love how it lays there against the journal, against the black there. So that's my closure. This is just some stickers that I stuck down onto a piece of white printer paper that I die cut. I die cut this little label. And so all of the letters and numbers here are stickers, as well as this little strip here. I knew that this was going to go across the center, so that's why I separated my my words, and I put the sticker here so that during the time when I don't have that on, it still looks reasonable. There's no big gap there, in other words. So I'm just going to flip through and remind you of all the things I did and show you how I used them in the journal. I did this yesterday. I attached one of my other crocheted leaves. I'm going to try and remember, I'll do my best to remember to put links to the videos that I watched to create these leaves. I'll put them in the description of the video, and that way any of you who want to know what I did for crocheting and for embroidery, you can go and look at the same videos that I looked at. But I was excited to be able to put in a little tag in the front that says I did it, and what it is, the 100-day project, and the dates that it went through. So that was really fun. So there's not really a whole lot to say. A lot of this I've already covered in a couple of previous videos, so I'm just going to kind of thumb through. If I think of anything that I wanted to tell you, or that I think I might have forgotten to tell you, I'll include that. But this one I did just recently, so I know I haven't talked about it. This I just did the smush technique. I folded an index card in half, and then I put paint down and smushed it together. And when I opened it up, I had a mirrored image. So then I folded it back after it was dry, and I cut leaf shapes. And I did that with a pink color, and I did it with the orange color. And then glued them down into a butterfly shape, and I just love how it turned out. It's got a lot of texture, a lot of, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, it's got a lot of dendritic texture in the paint, and there we go, I can catch a little bit of it right in here, but it's really textured, so I love it. And this is a little piece of grosgrain ribbon. I know you won't be able to see that very well, but that's grosgrain ribbon, and in order to be able to cut that and keep it from fraying, I just coated the piece of ribbon with some tacky glue. I coated the front and the back at the same time, and then let it dry, and when I cut out the body of the butterfly, nothing frayed. It was just perfect. So that's what I did there. I did add something to the lily pads page. I came back later and added some glossy accents, so there are some little splashes of water on my lily pads now, and I love how that looks. And it's very dimensional, very textured, and it just adds a fun element to the page, and so I just love that. That was really fun to create too. And then another crocheted leaf here. I added multiple things to a lot of these pages because I knew I was going to need to do that in order to fit 100 things in here. So, okay, then this one is my finish, my last one, day 100. It's the one that I created for the last page, and I really had fun with this. And I filmed the process of creating this page. So coming up soon, I'm not sure when. It depends on when I can get it edited and get it ready to go up. But I do have a video of how I created this little girl with the leafy hair, I call her. The girl with the leafy hair. So I put her on this page, and I lined the page first around the border with some washi tape, and it's so cool how it all matches and blends together. You really can't tell hardly that there's a difference by there. Everything is so matched, so it's kind of fun. But I had a fun time painting her. I like painting faces and drawing faces and stuff. I don't do it very often, so every now and then when the opportunity comes up, I really like to do that when I can, and it's always so much fun. So, all right, you guys have seen all of this and the little paper clip I made with the sequins. There's 3 big sequins, and I just glued them together and glued them onto a paper clip, and I put it here to hold it down because this is not really glued down except for at the top, and it kept flapping around a lot because it's very thin, like muslin fabric. So there's a pocket on this page, and so I was able to put the clip right down into the pocket, and it holds that piece, keeps it from flapping around a lot. Okay, and this one was recently just stamped some leaves in different colored inks and put on a border there. I love all the different sizes of the pages in this book too. It's so neat being able to see as the pages turn, you'll see so many different layers. Like here, you see layers of all these different pages, and I love that. It's really, really fun. So, just keep turning. This was a collage sheet I had done, and so I punched, no, I didn't punch, I used a stencil and drew the leaf shapes and then cut them out and put them in the journal. This is the little leaf that I laminated. You can see it's shiny, but it worked perfectly to run it right through the laminator. It's a leaf from my rose, a little miniature rose outside. And I love that I was able to run it through the laminator and preserve it like that. Yeah, this book was just so much fun. And this is my little leafy branch that I embroidered pretty recently. That was day 65 and 66 that I did that. And I, like I said, will link the videos for these projects. And I just lined that on the back with some leafy fabric. And I didn't attach it because I wanted to be reminded of what's underneath there. This is just a window envelope that's all painty, you know. And because I had glued something on this side, I thought it would be nice to preserve that. This was the dried leaves that I had doodled on with a Posca pen, and here's the little tag I did with the leaf rubbings using Inktense blocks. That was really cool. Right, and then this one is stenciled design. Someone had asked in the comments on Instagram. For those of you who don't know it, I posted these every single day on my Instagram. So if you don't follow me there, head over to my Instagram. The link is in the description of this video, and you can see each and every one of these individual posts over there. But someone had asked me over there, or said they would love to see how I did this, and it was so simple you would be shocked. Now you have to remember that this background was already here in this journal. So take one of your jelly prints or one of your painted papers, and you can do the same thing. And all I did was took one stencil that had these leafy patterns or designs on them, And I started with white, and I made that my background leaves. So I did 3 of the leafy branches, stems, in white. And then I came back with the dark green, and I did 2 of those. And then I came back and did the light green and did 1. And then I outlined only the green ones. And that allows the white ones to remain in the background, and then the colored ones are the ones that pop up to the surface, you know, to the top layer. So that's how I did that. It was very simple, and anybody can do it. Just get a painted paper or make a painted paper or a jelly print, and then just do something in layers on top like that. And then outline the ones you want to stand out. And it just has a really good effect. And this one was a little leaf that was on a piece of gift wrap that was gifted to me. And it worked out perfectly to use in my 100-day project. And this was doodling with a Sharpie on a piece of tissue paper, your regular old gift wrap tissue. And so I doodled with the Sharpies, which are permanent. And then, since you can't make those run with water because they're permanent, I sprayed them instead with alcohol. And it did make them run. So that was kind of a really neat effect. I hadn't tried that before, and I loved it. So I did all of that before I attached it, before I glued it down to this page. So day 72, I did this one. And day 88, I came back and did another one because I just wanted to go ahead and fill up that page with that fun doodling and swirled, washed out effect. I like it. So once it was dry, I was able to just tear it out and glue it down, and then the tissue paper, you know, virtually disappears. I love how that works. So that's how that one was done. These are some of my little leafy branches that I actually have these in my Etsy store. If you're interested in these, you can purchase a printable and cut them out and use them in your own journals. This one's a little cluster I did, just some painted paper bits and just old papers. This is a piece of washi tape glued down to a sheet of printer paper, and a little piece of coffee stained cheesecloth, and then a little doodled leaf on top. And then this is another leafy branch that I had created a stamp for. This is a foam stamp. Some of you probably remember seeing this before, but it's just made out of fun foam. So that's that little leaf, and it's just been stamped there on a piece of book text. And when I posted my picture on Instagram, I had forgotten one important step. I had shadowed, let me go back to say, I had shadowed my leaf, and it looked kind of three-dimensional because there's some shadowing going on and a little bit of highlighting, and so it looks a little three-dimensional. But when I drew in this washi tape, that's a drawn-in piece of washi tape. When I drew that in, it was flat because I forgot to put the shadowing on either side of the washi tape there and the little highlight on top. So it made the whole thing look flat because the tape was flat. And I realized that, of course, after the fact, but I saw it and made the correction in my book. But I wanted to share that with you guys so that if you do something like this and you shadow, you know, your image, and then you put something on top of that, make sure you shadow that thing too, put some shading there, I mean, so that it looks three-dimensional wrapped around the stem. Okay. There's another one of those little watercolored leafy branches I mentioned earlier. Okay, this was another one of these types of foam stamps here, and I put a little nature quote on there. We can never have enough of nature. Henry David Thoreau. Then I put a quote, just a quote, on the inside of this one because the paper was so pretty. I wanted to just retain it like it was and then just put this quote in. It is up to you to see the beauty of everyday things. I just like that a lot. And see how I love seeing all these layers through here? I love it. These are all different pages, but you just see all this color and fun, and it's so yummy. I love it. Okay, and then this one I had put on day 89. I put this quote by Emily Bronte, "Every leaf speaks bliss to me." And then this was just some crazy doodling. Another foam stamp like this, here just stamped in different colors all over the page to brighten up the brown page. I thought it looked really cool. There's the one with glitter and the one I did with fabric. Actually, it's not really glitter. I mean, it is glitter, but it's stickles that I put on that leaf. Okay, my little tea bag that I painted on. It's so tiny, very tiny, but I did some watercolor on the tea bag. And another one of those watercolored branches. This was a little piece of leafy lace that I used on this one, and stuck the little bird on there standing on the branch. Another carved foam stamp like that, only it's a big one, and a little bit different type of carving in that, or not really carving. In the foam, you're just making an impression in it. But I loved this quote that I found that said, "Do one thing that makes you happy day by day." Actually, it was two different stickers from a set, and I put them together because I was doing this day by day, so worked out great. And there's my little bird made out of leaves, and the branch here where I put the little crackled leaves there. I love that. Worked out great. And then this is the page where I have all of my little watercolor branches in the vase. I love how that one worked out. Very fun. Okay, you guys saw this. This was way back in the earlier days. And you've seen this one also. This is the another little laminated tag. Actually, I was just testing out the laminator, and I had put those in, and I decided, you know what? I'm just going to put those in my book because it works perfectly, and they're cute little leaves. So that worked out great. I loved using these leaves right here. Y'all remember when I cut all those leaves a couple years back? I've still got some left too. I cut all those leaves, and I was able to use some more of those to make a little strip to go across this pocket. This pocket has a little fold in it, so that fit perfectly there. And then I doodled on another day, and it was just a fun little page. Love it. Okay, here's the blue watercolor that I did and showed you in the last video. There's some more hand-carved stamps. This time it was with a carved one, actual carved one that I carved out of an eraser. Oh yeah, this one too was not. This one was not a foam stamp. This one was also an eraser, carved from an eraser. All right. And I just colored in the insides. I stamped it in white paint, and then I colored in the insides. And you guys saw this stuff from the pocket. Here's the purple big giant leaf that I made with washi tapes, and the one where I did some Posca pen doodling on an actual leaf. This is from my magnolia tree. So I love how those turned out. Okay. And then there's the fish. It's the copy of the fish. My other one, my actual fish broke right after I posted it to Instagram. And so I was glad I had a fun little picture to be able to include in my journal. This was just a stamp, a store-bought stamp. And I just dropped in some watercolor all over the leaf, and I loved how it turned out. So then I found this nice little quote from John Burroughs that says, "How beautifully leaves grow old. How full of light and color are their last days." So I think that's really nice. Perfect for that leaf. And this is a copy also, and I made it much smaller. It's about a half sheet, half of an 8.5 by 11. that I did some negative painting. And I did that following a video from Sarah Cray at Let's Make Art, and I will link her video in my video here so that you can go check that out. It was a really fun process to do, and I really enjoyed it a lot. And I think you will too. You should give that a try. It's fun. I know it's very dark. It's kind of hard to see, but there's several layers of leaf colors here. So it's really cool. And there's my coffee cup. I used a photocopy of it because the other one I had done on thinner watercolor paper. I think it was 90-pound paper, and so it was a little bit warped, and plus I wanted to keep the thickness down. Y'all see how thick this book ended up getting. So I just put in a paper copy, a printer paper copy, so that it wouldn't be so stiff. And I love how that little cup came out with the leafy motif on it. And then this one was from a jelly print that I cut the separate leaves out and put them down on separate days. That was fun. This one I just didn't even want to cover up. I thought at the time that I was making a background, and it would be a beautiful background, but at the same time I just really liked how all those colors of leaves looked, and so I just left it and did not put anything on it. And it went so well with the page next door. I just thought, that is so cool. I love it. And of course this page was already in the journal. I didn't create this page. And then when I created this one, it matched beautifully. So I was able to stick it in this pocket, and I love how that looks. I may come back and doodle something down here in some white, but I do really like how that whole page looks. And this one was pretty recent. This was just a silly leafy branch I did with a stencil, and the page, actually, I covered up. This is the back of this page, but as much as I love this page right here, the back side was not quite as vibrant, and so I just put down one of my jelly prints that I had and stenciled this leaf on in white, and then used a piece of the drywall tape with the little holes in it. I put that on top of the stencil and stenciled with ink these blue dots, and then I put in the pink dots. They're tiny pink dots with a Posca pen. And then I put the quote on that says, "A little nonsense now and then is relished by the wisest men." And that's a Roald Dahl quote. Love it. And then this one you saw earlier in the process, and this one was some Rolodex cards I did that I photocopied, and I laid them together and photocopied, so I have strips of several of them here, and it just looks so perfect. I love it. So I did that, and then I put this little doodled leaf I made next door because it kind of helped bring in the corals and pinks from over here, so I thought that was cool. And then at the end, I put a picture of my first post on day 1 of the 100-day project from Instagram. And I did that because it explains, I explained in every post, I have this little blurb in here about what I was doing, so that if anyone new came along, they would know what I was doing and how I was planning to do it. And so the last sentence says, "I'm hoping to have a book full of fun leaves at the end of this journey." And then today I added in, "and I do." So I thought was a good way to wrap up my book. And I wanted to thank Shannon once again. Shannon Green created this journal, and I purchased it from her in an auction she had. And I really loved it, and I was so glad that I had it when this idea to do the 100-day project came along. I was so tickled knowing, oh my goodness, I can put all my leaves in this beautiful journal. So thank you again, Shannon, for this gorgeous journal and for all of the beautiful things you put inside it. I will treasure this forever, and I love having all of it filled to capacity now with just leafy goodness, and it's just been a joy and a pleasure. So thank you all for all of your support and all of your comments and likes throughout the 100 days. I truly can't believe that 100 days went by that quickly, but it did. And I just had a blast, and I appreciated all of your encouragement. So thank you again for that and for following along with me. And now that this is done, I will, I don't think I'm going to jump into any more challenges right away, but hopefully now I will be getting back to creating in my journals, you know, the other ones that I've been working in, my coffee journal, my nature journal, my joyful junk journal, and, you know, making some more Rolodex cards, and maybe some new projects will come along, but not anything that's a daily challenge. That I'm going to not do for a while. Not to say I didn't enjoy it, but you do need a break. You need a breather. So I'll take a breather from the one challenge a day projects for now. But anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little flip through. And I encourage you all to do this because I've never done this, ever. The first time I did the index card a day, I did not finish it. That was several years ago. I didn't finish. And then the next time I did it, I was determined to finish, and I was late. I mean, I did it and finished it, but I didn't do it in the time that it was, you know, laid out to be done in. But I did finish it. So then when I tackled this one this time, I made up my mind that I was going to literally keep up with it and do it every single day. I never ever dreamed I could do 100 days of anything, and it turned out that I actually could, and I wasn't stressed about it at all. I literally enjoyed the entire process, and I want to say that you guys can do it too, and I hope you will. And you could actually do it and start it anytime you want to, and not have to worry about any kind of schedule if you choose. It's just fun to create something every day, whether you're doing a challenge or not, just any little thing. It's good. It's good practice. It's a good habit. It's good for your soul. It's good for your health. Just create. Just create and enjoy it. You don't have to worry about what it's for. You don't have to show it to anybody. Just doing it. It's the doing of it that is so healthy and so beneficial. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Y'all are great, and you're so supportive and encouraging, and I really appreciate it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.